1:30 already. It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning. Good morning.
This is such a great film. And I can't believe, we're celebrating the 70th anniversary of Singin' in the Rain. And, to you, why do you think it has become such a beloved classic?
I actually had the great honor of being able to go around with the wonderful Rita Moreno, who plays Zelda in the movie, for the 60th anniversary. And everybody was asking her, so they said, why are people still watching this movie? And in a perfect Rita response, she said, because it's a perfect musical. And I think it is. And I think it really, you look at it, the writing is so sophisticated. The Comden and Green script is so timeless, because I think comedy is very, very difficult. It's so hard to write something that's going to be funny in 1952 and equally funny in 2022. I don't think there are many movies that hold up like that, and for such a wonderful range, an audience, from 2-year-olds to 102-year-olds, and to both men and women. I get more mail from men I get a lot of mail from women who were drawn to Gene and the movie. But I think it also played a role for men, because it was kind of okay for a guy to move and be graceful and be charming and athletic. And so men will send pictures. Their wives will take a picture of them up on the lamppost or running down the street. And I think they get to experience that kind of joy that's really perennial. It's something we all feel. Whenever it rains and you're in an umbrella, I think I get so many clips from people that they're mimicking Gene out in the rain.
Isn't it amazing how that can just be solidified as part of the fabric of like America's memories? When it rains, we think of a film. And your husband, Gene Kelly, he was so talented. I mean, not only an incredible dancer, as you touched on there, but he also co-directed the film too. So kind of what are one of your favorite stories that he would share with you about filming?
Well, and he's co-directing, and it is important that he is the first named director. So it was distinctive. Unfortunately, IMDb they list directors alphabetically, but it is important that Gene was first, because he was the guy behind the camera selecting the shots and the detail involved. And he would gather with his dance assistants, Carol Haney and Jeannie Coyne, at night. I mean, he would go through a whole day of rehearsal and then shooting, but then after night into the wee hours of the morning, he would be working out the numbers so that they'd be ready to put on the dancers the following day, or the puddles that had to be cut out. It was a very cerebral process for Gene. I think a lot of people always figure that he just kind of got up and wiggled around on the stage and that's how he came up with it. He didn't. He sat in a chair, and he had a little screen that ran in his head, and he could see the choreography full figure in his head. And then he would go in the next day, and he'd work with an assistant who would do his part, and he would stand back and watch to see if what he had imagined worked. And then, as I say, kind of choreograph where he's going to hit each puddle. And so it was they had a good time. Gene said it was a great time, but it was very hard work. I mean, it was very serious. There were times, though, one of the things I thought was a great story that people may not notice, when Donald O'Connor starts making all the funny faces behind the man who's the elocution teacher, that was all Donald. That was all Donald's wonderful improvisation. So that's not in the script. And so one day they're doing this, and Donald starts doing these funny faces, and Gene loses it. And you can see him a bit in this. He kind of looks away because he's laughing. It's just, and you think of that. I mean, that was just a brilliant thing to add. It just cements that scene. And there's so many little details like that that I think people don't really know, but it's kind of fun to reveal them. Even the guy Gene hands the umbrella to is an actor who was famous, but many, many, many decades before, named Snub Pollard, who really wasn't getting a lot of work. So Gene brought him in as the guy that he hands the umbrella to. So it's fun it's great to watch the movie as it is, but it's really fun to share the stories about it. And I have a lot of them. So maybe one day we can share a few more.
Yes, thank you so much for the time today and giving us a little glimpse into it. And I know that you're a writer as well, and I'm sure that many can glean from what you've been able to record of Gene, and then also, celebrating the anniversary of the 4K Ultra DVD coming out. So thanks for the time.
Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you again.